Take, for example, do we have this clip of Maxine Waters talking about misinformation? So Maxine Waters questioned Zuckerberg, and she asked specifically about whether Zuckerberg was putting out misinformation. And AOC did the same thing. Like, well, are you willing to put out campaign ads that have overt lies in them? And Zuckerberg's like, well, not if they're suppressing votes, right? I mean, that has an actual impact, but it's not our job to evaluate for our readers true and false coming from prominent politicians. That's their job. More information is better. And Maxine Waters can't handle it because Maxine Waters is not a logical human being.
Facebook itself actually does not fact check. What we do is we have feedback that people in our community don't want to see viral hoaxes or kind of widespread.
So let me be clear. You do no fact checking on any ads. Is that correct?
Chairwoman, what we do is we work with a set of independent fact checkers who...
Somebody fact checks on ads. You contract with someone to do that. Is that right?
Chairwoman, yes.
And tell me, who is it that they fact checked on?
I mean, she's just saying nonsensical questions. She's conflating everything, right? The policy of Facebook is that when politicians put out ads, they do not fact check the ads for taking down because they feel the fact checkers are then going to fact check those ads. When it comes to people putting out, direct attacks on people that are not politicians, right? When it comes to political speech, in other words, Facebook takes a pretty broad view. When it comes to, an advertiser who is advertising a product and they're slandering somebody, then Facebook won't put that up. That seems fairly clear. But these people don't understand even the basics of how Facebook works. Why? Because they've just decided that big tech is the bad guy unless they can control big tech. Listen to what they actually want. Here's some of the those were the more intelligent questions, believe it or not. You ready for this one? Here's Al Green, Representative Al Green, I believe he's from New York, asking how many LGBT people work on the Bitcoin Libra. What? Now, what is that? That's like saying how many gay people work at the United States Mint. What does that have to do with anything? Would it make the U.S. dollar less legitimate if there are fewer than 3% of the people who work on the U.S. dollar are gay people? What? Here's Green being a complete moron.
One would assume that you would know who heads these corporations that are going to be running this global company. How many of them are minorities, Mr. Zuckerberg?
Congressman, I do not know off the top of my head.
Are there any members of the LGBTQ plus community associated with this association, Mr. Zuckerberg?
Stop. What? Hold up. Al Green. So how many transgender people are working on Libra? You're getting called in front of Congress? I feel like Congress may have overstepped its boundaries just a little bit. And listen, I don't trust Zuckerberg and I don't trust anybody. Listen, I don't trust anybody. I don't trust anybody in big tech to keep to their promises. But Zuckerberg has at least articulated a standard. Do you think I trust Al Green, who is questioning whether Libra should be able to go forward based on how many people who believe they are a member of the opposite sex are working on the tech for Libra? What in the... It's insanity. You want those people in charge of the country? You want Elizabeth Warren in charge of the country? You want those folks? I don't. Facts don't care about your feelings, and it's a fact that The Ben Shapiro Show is the largest conservative podcast in the nation. Be sure to hit the subscribe button to stay up to date on all of our content.